Hello, everybody. Thank you for following this link to watch this video. My name is Rinat Nailev. I am a senior student at Berea College. I'd like to thank the computer science department of Berea College, the mentors that were helping me throughout the way, and of course, the internship office that sponsored the whole experience. So I was doing my internship with Next Gen Justice LLC. It's a startup. We were in San Jose, California, beginning like the end of May, all the way up to mid-August. The structure is pretty simple. The yellow parts are the foundations of why the startup actually exists. So you can see that. So 15 minutes is the time spent per client by the government attorney, which is not a lot of time at all. As you know, in the United States, there is a huge gap between rich and poor in terms of access to legal help. There's 2.8 attorneys per 10,000 people. Just think about that number and how insane that is. Yeah, so these are the foundations of Next Gen Justice. And you see the arrows pointing to this section right here, which are the goals and the target. The primary goal of what we are trying to do is, of course, this combining ChatGPT like platform with a lawyer. This is the goddess of justice back in Greece. This was our whole purpose. And of course, on the more technical side, it had to understand PDFs and it had to generate PDFs. Those were the main points, the main targets of at least this summer. And of course, they had to have law knowledge. So we were basically making an AI lawyer per se. And I divided this part into two different aspects. One is a brain. You can see the brain on the background, and one is a body of the AI model. And I think I'll just talk a little more in general how to create a model, and I'll touch base on how did it relate to what we were doing. So let's start with the body, the part which anybody can do actually. So you go to the Hugging Face. So what is Hugging Face? Hugging Face, this cute little emoji right here, is a database of everything you need to do anything AI related. It has data sets, training sets, AI models. They are free to download. Some of them are licensed, but you still can use them. So yeah, so this is Hugging Face. It's basically Stack Overflow of AI. It has forums, it has everything. And what we were doing basically, anybody could just download and just say, hey, you are now an AI lawyer. Do please start helping people. We did not actually want to do that because anybody can do it. So putting a little side note here to the brain part, the data collection part. It was actually outsourced. We did not do that. We had the second team in Lexington who was going to the courts, who was going to the hearings, who were gathering a lot of data. So we had about 70 gigabytes of PDFs and audios, and those were the documents that were not publicly accessible at all. So that's why I think we're different. That's what makes us stand out. Exchange justice, I'm saying. And the 80% of our time was spent on building this LLM test suite. LLMs is for large language model. So we implemented the inference part. Inference means you just chat with the bot that you just downloaded using Transformers library for Python. Let me just clear it up real quick. So we did the inference part. We did the training abilities, which means you just give it data and say, hey, this is what you need to know. These are the questions that I'm going to ask you. And we were training our model to be able to be good at the constitution-related questions, basically the law part of it. Then evaluation. Evaluation is inherently part of training. So once you train your model on something, you got to make sure it does its job. So we also had customized specifically collected data, like questions that our model was answering. And it was all possible I'm gonna go back to this point, to the data processing point soon, but it was all possible thanks to the RAG method. RAG stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation, as you can read there. And let me just read it. Improves the accuracy and relevance of responses by referencing external sources before giving an answer. So what it does, with the method, actually, I was charged with doing it. So what it actually does is adds another checkpoint for the model before it spits out the answer. It's saying, go back to your sources, go back to we were testing the Harry Potter books first. Go back to the Harry Potter books and make sure that what you're going to say is true. And so basically, it creates multiple questions that are very similar and tries to pull that information off the resources. And it also it's good at giving reference. And the data processing part was actually very interesting as well, because I got to work with MP3s and audio files, so that the model could work with any data type. So you could upload an audio file of the court hearing, and it would summarize it and give you a PDF of who was involved and answer the questions based on the audio. These are basically all the applications that we were using. So Postgres we use for data, for the database part, Node.js and JavaScript for more like the front end part of it, Flask as well for the web applications. And it's all used. You can see down here the picture of NVIDIA. It's all thanks to NVIDIA's CUDA technologies, which is basically it allows your model to use your GPU extensively and to run a lot of processes at the same time. Yeah, that's why CUDA is very important in AI world. If you look on the left part, you will see this. So this basically is our MVP model. You can see the interface is kind of like ChatGPT's, but you could, for this is an example. So I asked, what are the charges? And it spits out the answer. It says this PDF outlines the following charges, and boom, boom, boom. It gives you all the points, and you can thread, so you can dive deep and create a separate conversation about it. But yeah, the design, I was actually also working on the design, so this is my work. Yeah, basically chat-based interface with the possibility of uploading files and working within them. Yes, if you have any questions, I guess write them in the comments or just send me an email. Yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. See you later.